Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about Nubia again because Nubia Real One really had me thinking about the dangers of this kind of book that comes out. Like, people always want to be like, it's a YA novel, nobody really should care about it or whatever and stuff like that. But the problem is, why, as a black person, should I accept companies taking black characters and just writing garbage rhetoric about them? You know, people who was reading Nubia Real One said this was the first time that they ever heard of Nubia, and this is the first instance of them, you know, being involved with this character. And for me hearing that, that is very alarming and very disheartening because a lot of people was like, I literally hate this book and I hate the character Nubia. This book is racist as hell. DC showed their ass with this book. To release a book like this, to have people who never read Nubia before, never interacted with this character, didn't even know about this character, or didn't even know that she was part of Wonder Woman line at all, is dangerous. This is a dangerous precedent that really annoys the hell out of me because we've been going down this route for the past couple of years. Everybody always want to talk about, we need diversity, we need to see more black voices in comics or the media or entertainment or whatever, ignoring the fact that there were plenty of black voices and black people in entertainment and comic books or whatever. But to have a YA that's targeted for kids with not only garbage art, garbage story, and a garbage message of racism does not help people come to the media. I know people say, ignore the stuff, it's not that big a deal or whatever, but no, at this point, it is a big deal because it's making a damn fool out of black people. I'm tired of these books coming out, taking characters in general, and then shitting all over them, knowing that they have a fan base, knowing the fan base is going to be upset with it, and then knowing that somebody's going to be their first time interacting with this character to the point where it's their first and last time. I'm hearing people talk about this is their first and last time dealing with Nubia because of how racist the book was. Do you not understand how crazy that is? To have a book about Wonder Woman's twin sister and you focus on these shallow things. You focus on a school shooting. You focus on a racist white people, cops that just shoot without warning, black people being abused, Black Lives Matter. I'm confused on how does that poster inspire somebody, especially as a young adult book. Who is this made for? How do you market that to a child? How does that make a black girl, feel? Or how does that inspire her? And another thing, what's up with making black women monkeys for? Like, you make them look like they're unintelligent, they're stupid, they need protection or something like that, or the whole world is against them. And it shouldn't be. It really should not be this way at all. You have Nubia, Wonder Woman's twin sister, who has most of the same power sets as Diana with a little bit of extra. And you mean tell me you couldn't come up with a good positive story that inspires hope, that inspires women, that inspires black people? Showing a black superhero saving the day without worrying about the fact that they're black. They live in the world DC universe where there are Teen Titans that are doing kids with amazing powers, and you mean tell me that this girl has to keep herself hidden because she's black? What did you not see any of the Teen Titans that are diverse? They are other races besides white. So why did you feel the need to write this disgusting book? It matters not that it's a young adult novel book. The fact of the matter is that it's written by a racist. And you're sitting up here because the girl laments about how she don't like white people. Why are you hiring somebody that admits that they don't like white people to write a book about a black person being oppressed by white people? There's a time and a place for those kind of books. This was not the time nor the place for that. And if you're going to do a YA, you do something original. Don't drag in superhero characters and try to put them in this real world bubble that nobody asked for, that nobody wanted. You get what I'm saying? That is some dangerous stuff that you can't keep. We can't ignore that. I can't sit up here and ignore it and get over it, because it's a horrible message. It's a horrible book to have released in public. And then I'm hearing people talking about, oh yeah, this book was, I heard some few Twitter retards and one YouTuber talking about, oh yeah, I can't wait to give my niece this book so she can feel empowered. Empowered by what? So she can be reminded of how terrible people are? So she can think that she's a victim of everything, a victim of circumstances? And then had the nerve to try to compare the art to 90s. Talking about, oh, yeah, the art was just like that in the 90s. No, the hell it wasn't. That's how you know y'all asses don't read comic books. Dumbasses talking about that nonsense. I couldn't even believe that Gartner video talking about how amazing the book was, and I'm just glad it exists. So you're glad that a terrible book about a black superhero character exists, and then tries to justify, oh, well, the white superheroes have terrible runs. They have terrible runs, not terrible YA graphic novels on them. And usually the run is still them being heroic. This book wasn't showing them heroic. Nubia doesn't even have a solo run. So you can't really compare Nubia to Batman or the X-Men or Spider-Man or Superman or Wonder Woman herself, because this book, those characters are focused, and they are in comic book issues where they have villains, they have foes that they fight. Yes, sometimes the runs are garbage, but they've been around for years. They've been around for years to have those moments. Nubia has been around for years, but she hasn't been in comic books like that to the point where this is the first time that you have her headlining. When I type in Nubia Wonder Woman, the first thing that comes up is this garbage book. Do you not understand how that is stupid? Nubia Real One should have been the first time we can tell a good standalone Nubia story within the world of DC Universe to be inspired by. Why would I want the book to exist when the book is garbage? Because you know why? When books like this exist, and when stuff like this exists for diverse people, diverse characters or whatever and stuff like that, guess what? That gives them an excuse not to try anymore. Because they're not going to try anymore. Because they're going to look at it, well, the fans didn't buy the book. So guess what? They're racist. They don't like black characters. When it's not true. We don't like trash stories. We don't like trash stories. But because this was her moment to shine, and most of us didn't like it, guess what? They're probably not going to do that much with Nubia. Yes, Nubia shows up in Immortal Wonder Woman, but she should have had a Nubia Future State comic book, to be honest. Yara Floyd, dumbass, got one. And she got one, but Nubia's been around since the 1970s, and this character hasn't even had a solo or one shot at all. Make it make sense to me. Please make it make sense to me. But you tell me I need to be acceptant of it, accept that it exists, because at least it tried. Tried what? Tried what? Laziness? I could have wrote a better Nubia story than that. I could have drew a better Nubia story than that. Again, not saying that I'm the best artist or whatever, but this is disrespectful. It's harmful. It's concerning. it's alarming that we're allowing racist rhetorics, racist black people to write for black characters with no qualifications at all. You can tell these people never really read a comic book, because a lot of them are talking about, oh, when I was growing up, which, mind you, a lot of them grew up during the same time I did in the 90s. So for you to sit up here and have this lie about there wasn't any black characters in media or in screen on TV or in comic books, are you serious? Are you serious? That's how you know your ass is lying. That's how you know you don't know anything about comic books or entertainment in general. There were plenty of black characters in the media back in the 80s and in the 90s. Don't sit up here and lie just to get your way in. And then this another thing is, they get these people in here just to elevate them into another franchise that somebody likes, just for them to destroy it by having the same rhetoric again about the black characters are being oppressed by the white characters and woe is me, black oppression and stuff like that. Why are we bringing in that kind of stuff into comic books? That is not right. That is dangerous. You're literally trying to convince people that white people, all of them in general, are just nothing but racist filled people that wants to kill black people every day. I'm not saying that it's perfect out here in the world, but it's a lot better than where we came from. But don't sit up here and destroy all of that work. That's the thing. They're not. You guys aren't even improving on nothing. You're destroying more so than you're improving on, and that's really dangerous. That's really dangerous, to be honest, because soon people will start believing that, and we don't need people believing that. I want more black people to be reading comic books. I want more black people to be into this hobby. But you got to give black people good stories. You got to treat black superheroes like superheroes without worrying about their race. Because they're superheroes. Who the hell cares that they're black, as long as they ass is saving the day, taking down the villains? That's what I care about. A good story, a good heroic story that shows these characters in a good light, not in a negative light. Not in some oppressed woe is me thing. We need to stop co-signing and stop agreeing to this kind of stuff. We need to tell these companies, these media, that we don't need this kind of entertainment out like this, niche audience or not, because we don't let these people infest so much that they're literally destroying things around us. And yet we're just supposed to be like, yeah, at least it exists though. What? Just because you exist don't mean that you shouldn't be treated with kindness, with respect. The same way with these characters. They should still be treated with respect. They exist for a reason. Not to be crapped on, not to be in crappy stories that show people don't care about these characters. Because all it does is shelf these characters. Like they already doing now. That's why we getting race changes instead, because they're too lazy to wipe off the dust and bring out the original characters. Because when they try, they give lame stories that nobody's going to read, and the stories are racist, they are pressed, and they're downright drawn ugly. But then you think somebody's supposed to like that kind of stuff. They're giving people of color the bare minimum and then get mad that we don't want it. You see how crazy that sounds? We need to do better. These books need to be better. All of this nonsense with these writers with their agendas and stuff like that need to go. If you can't write a book without putting your personal politics or your personal feelings into things when you know you shouldn't be, you're not a writer. You're not a creative person. Get the hell out of the hobby. because I'm tired. I'm tired of reading this stuff. I'm tired of seeing it. It's it's hard to escape this stuff when it keeps popping up everywhere. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.